Oh, yeah. Welcome to the show, folks. Thursday. Another week in the books. 833-599-6425. 833-599-6425. 833-599-NICK is the phone number. Excuse me. Or should I say 833-599-6425. Apparently that's what started the whole 444 mystery. I think we've solved it. Before I get to that, dates real quick. This weekend I'm at the Corner Comedy Club, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, both Friday and Saturday night. Saturday, December 22nd, the Comedy Works in Saratoga Springs, New York. Monday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, Tarrytown Music Hall, Tarrytown, New York. Saturday, January 12th, Fairfield Theater Company, Fairfield, Connecticut. Saturday, January 19th, Bobby V's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Sunday, January 21st, Ventura Harbor Comedy Club in Ventura, California. On the 25th, prior to that, Friday, I'll be on with Joe Rogan out in L.A. Friday, March 8th, Wood Theater, Glens Falls, New York. Saturday, March 9th, Cohoes Hall, Cohoes, New York. Friday, April 26th, Steel Stacks, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Saturday, August 10th, Newtown Theater, Pennsylvania, the Newtown Theater. Saturday, October 19th, Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Go to nickdip.com for all your ticket information. And that is that. Yeah, we were talking about the whole 444 thing. We think we have it solved. Maybe, maybe not. Really not that important. Actually disappointed at how innocuous it was. But there's a guy, he called into the show, Mike from Chicago. Look, his whole goal is to, suck off my juice because he's a fucking nobody. I can't even get upset about this. It's one thing to have somebody at your level shitting on the show or whatever. But when it's a peon with 2,500 Facebook members who literally means nothing in this business or show business or whatever realm, it's hard to get excited, but we'll give him the juice that he's looking for. Red Bar Radio. I'll even plug his show for him. Mike David. I guess he heard me, he watched the show back in August when it first came on, about a month after it came on. And sometimes I give out the phone number. I do this voice. I go 833-599. And he was making fun of how I said 6425. And I'm being fucking silly about it. So he was making fun of how I say 444. And I guess, his 12 followers thought that was funny and whatever. Well, here's a picture of me. Obviously, I'm the leader of a cult, thanks to Mike. But just, I did a little bit of research. It almost wasn't worth it because he's such a fucking nobody. This guy was hired by Anthony Comia at Compound Media, and Comia fired him. Anthony told me he's the most untalented, unfunny fucking guy he's ever met, and he to this day wants to kill him. And I can see why. The guy's show, he has a streaming show like this, consists of making fun of other people in the same business that are way more successful than him. That's all he's got. That's all he has to play with. So I thought I'd do what he does for the first few minutes of the show. That's all he fucking has. And he calls me angry and sad, and this guy's show consists of nothing creative, just making fun of other people who are more successful, which is everybody on the fucking planet, including my own parents. But he, and I was going to give him a break. I was going to go, he trolled me with this 444 thing. Pretty creative, good marketing strategy. But then I watched some of his shit, and he's, just saying stuff. He's everything that's wrong with people on social media. He's saying shit that he would never say to my fucking face, ever. And just shitting on the show, making fun of the backdrop, which everybody absolutely loves. People who are fans are not fans of the show. He's like, what's that from, he's got a picture behind him from like 1800. That fucking picture is a year and a half old of a restaurant in Boston, a historic restaurant that looks just like the picture does behind me. Hasn't changed in a couple hundred years. So, I mean, that's how petty he was getting. besides how I speak. And I'm just fucking around when I give out that voice, but that threw him for a loop. He says I make fun of people doing podcasts in their basement, which the only time I do that is when I'm referencing myself. I never made fun of anybody else. I actually, it was in awe of Rogan and Corolla and what they were able to do. And every time I make fun of somebody doing a show in the basement, I'm talking about myself. So I don't know where the fuck he got that. So he's over 3. What the fuck else was he? He was making fun of the show before we had the sound down and everything. Like I said, the show is brand new, and but he knew that. And he talked about how many subscribers that he actually said, well, we're going to give him that much. He's got this many subscribers. But he said they're going to leave him after this show's on for a few weeks. And it's gone up 70%, my subscribership, since he said that. So the guy's fucking wrong about everything. But he makes fun of Comey, Gavin McInnes, Steven Crowder, Rogan, Bert Kreischer, Joe DeRosa. Anybody who is more successful, which is everybody on the planet, is who he attacks. This is the shit that you see on social media that you go, why are there so many assholes in the world? And, but again, we're giving him some juice here. He says we're all rich now, like me, Gavin, Comey, Crowder. Couldn't be more wrong there. And that we shit on the mainstream media, but we pretend to be freedom fighters. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I've had this same angle. My view of the world hasn't changed since I was an open micer. And as far as being rich, compared to you, losers like you, I'm rich, I'm sure. I'll make more this weekend in 2 nights doing comedy than you make in a fucking month doing your show and selling weed to kids, whatever the fuck you do. So I'm guessing he's a failed stand-up comic who just hates other guys who made it in comedy. So, but I am upset. I'm going to lose sleep tonight because I don't have the respect of this guy, Mike, Red Bar Radio. But I have the respect of Chris Rock, who hired me, Louis C.K., Dave Attell, Norm Macdonald, who's mentioned me, Colin Quinn, only the legends of stand-up who love my stand-up. But I don't have the... I'll work real hard to get the respect of this guy. I'll break out some puppets, and maybe I'll make fun of other shows that are more successful than mine. And then he made fun of the Raging Bull clip that I put up. He's like, what a fucking dork. He's got like a, who does he think he's Sinatra? Because I had like a bow tie. He doesn't even know the Raging Bull scene. This is how much a fucking of a moron this guy is. And he says, it was all right to like Nick DiPaolo, but now it's not. He's angry, sad, piece of shit, he said. That's where you go too far, faggot. I mean, because you wouldn't say that to my face if you saw me tomorrow in a fucking, on the sidewalk. So, fuck you and your sad little show. Make fun of all the fucking people who are more successful than you, which means your show should run for 1,000 years. And that's all I have to say about Mike from Chicago. I wish this was a Monday or a Wednesday. I don't know if he has the money to subscribe for one fucking week. That's how sad that is. On to bigger and better things. The number 833-599-6425. I'm actually doing John McLaughlin, the late, great John McLaughlin, who had a show. He's the guy who went, bye-bye. That's who I'm doing. That's the voice I'm doing. I give out the number to help this poor prick who doesn't even know the Raging Bull, apparently. What's going on in the fucking world of politics? Michael Cohen pleads guilty to lying to Congress in a new deal with Mueller in a Trump-Russia probe. We're back to that.
There you go. Fucking rat anyway. His whole family's all rats. Would have grew up to be a rat.
He's a fucking rat. Cohen appeared in federal court in Manhattan today, where he entered a guilty plea for misstatements to Congress in closed-door testimony last year about his contacts with Russians during the presidential campaign. Oh, my God. I feel bad for the Democrats. Cohen's earlier plea deal with federal prosecutors in Southern District Court of New York implicated Trump in campaign finance felonies. Since then, Cohen has spent more than 70 hours in interviews with Mueller's team. The question is focused on contacts with Russians by Trump associates during the campaign, Trump's business ties to Russia, obstruction of justice, and talk of possible pardons Sources familiar with the discussion have told ABC News that, so it must be true, but his dealings while serving as senior executive in Trump's global empire included several projects thought to be of interest to Mueller's prosecutors, most notably the pursuit of a Trump Tower project in Moscow during the presidential campaign. Like, that's a big fucking deal.
Get this through your head.
Oh, Mr. Trump.
Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you.
That's Trump. Do we have him on a live mic? He was arguing with Cohen. It cannot be determined if Cohen's cooperation will lead to other criminal allegations. You should have seen the media today. ABC broke in Stephanopoulos with breaking news. And I read this whole article. Nothing has fucking changed. Nothing has changed other than this guy admits that he lied to Congress. He's being squeezed, Cohen, right now. And there he is. He's being squeezed because of his, remember they took his computer and all the shit out of his house? So he's being busted in all kinds of things, tax fraud, all kinds of horse shit. So Mueller's putting the fucking arm on him, and he squeezed. Get rid of that. Thank you. Cohen once said that he would take a bullet for the president. He mentioned it was a rubber one, but now has come to regard Trump as a dangerously unfit for the presidency. Ooh, original thinking. You watch the fucking NBC Nightly News.
Rat anyways. Whole family's all rats. Would have grew up to be a rat.
The news of the agreement comes during a tumultuous week in the Mueller investigation. Sources familiar with the special counsel's proposed agreement with Cohen told ABC News that the 52-year-old New Yorker will admit to making multiple misstatements, in other words, lies, to two congressional intelligence committees investigating alleged collusion between Trump campaign and Russia to influence the 2016 presidential election. It was not immediately clear what Cohen told the congressional committees in the fall of 2017 that he will now say was false. Cohen's anticipated agreement with Mueller also comes just 2 weeks before he is due to be sentenced, here's the key, in a separate case in federal court in New York, which burst into public view in April when federal agents raided his law office and home. Cohen pleaded guilty in August to 6 felonies associated with his personal business dealings, including tax evasion and making false statements to a bank, and 2 felony campaign finance violations in connection with his role in arranging non-disclosure agreements during the campaign, with Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. This is fucking old news. What's happening is, Mueller said, look, man, you're going to be facing a lot of time in prison if you don't tell me something. So now he's making shit up like fucking rats do to protect his own fucking hide. He's a scumbag. Cohen directly implicated Trump in the alleged schemes to silence the women. We know about that. Cohen remains free on bond in advance of sentencing hearing scheduled for December 12th. He's a rat fuck. He's facing a possible 46 to 63 months in prison and a potential fine of up to $1 million. Cohen's voluntary cooperation with Mueller could earn him significant credit with special counsel in advance of his sentencing in the New York case. That's all this is. Mueller's like, look, if you don't want to go to jail for a long time with this New York bullshit, tell me something about Trump, even if you have to fucking lie. It's what they did to that Corsi guy yesterday. Excuse me. Pardon me. If Cohen cooperates and provides substantial assistance, he could still receive a recommendation from the government for a reduced sentence, even though it was not part of the original plea agreement. Since entering his guilty pleas in Manhattan, Cohen has been talking with multiple agencies investigating the president, sources said. He's doing so voluntarily, without the protection of a formal cooperation agreement or the specific promise of a reduced fucking sentence. He's just a dirty rat.
Fucking rat anyways. Whole family's all rats. Would have grew up to be a rat.
Cohen is, he did grow up to be a rat. Cohen has confirmed he attended a lunch meeting with a Ukrainian politician 1 week after Trump took office. Ooh. Where the two men discussed the potential for Cohen to share with his contacts at the White House a Ukraine peace proposal reportedly favored by Russia. Oh my God, guilty. Cohen also played an integral role in discussions about a possible Trump Tower in Moscow. And what's illegal about that? Unfucking believable. His guilty plea, set to be entered Thursday, centers around his testimony to Congress in the fall of 2017, at a time when Cohen was still firmly in the president's camp. In a public statement released in September 2017, in advance of his closed session on Capitol Hill, Cohen said that he had nothing to do with any Russian involvement in our electoral process. He said he never saw anything, not a hint of anything, that demonstrated President Trump's involvement in Russian interference in our election or any form of Russian collusion. Yeah, and now he's singing a different tune because he's facing charges of his own. So Mueller's just doing his heavy-handed horse shit. This guy's a liar. Are you going to believe anything? We've already proved him to be a fucking liar and a rat. So why would you believe his testimony now or what he has to say? He's just trying to save his own skin. That's all, because he knows he wouldn't last a second in fucking jail. Let's not kid ourselves. I don't see anything different. I'd be encouraged if I was Trump. Remember, this whole thing is about Trump colluding with Russia to steal the election from Hillary. That was the objective of the special counsel. Just keep that in mind, people forgetting. And I don't see anything new. He lied to Congress. Ooh, we talked about building a hotel in Moscow. Yeah, okay. Trump didn't try to hide that he was the fucking head of his real estate empire. They got nothing. They got nothing. That's in my opinion. But you can see how Mueller operates. They're all so excited. Adam Schiff, the pencil neck geek with a Charles Grodin face that I want to stomp like a fucking melon. Oh, that little pencil neck fucking... I hope he was tortured and bullied in the showers. What a little piece of shit he is. Let's go to Pat in Saratoga. Wants to talk about Mike from Red Bar. It's the only call I'm taking on this because we've already given Mike what he wants. You're welcome, Mike. Anyways, Pat, what's going on, fella?
Yeah, what's going on, Nick? Hey, I just want to tell you, I think I listened to one of this guy's shows. He fucking sucked. I'd like to punch him right square in his fucking jaw if I could. And it's bullshit that he's calling out your show. And it's bullshit that he's calling out the Union Oyster House. I've been in there, and it's a nice establishment, even though I'm sure Teddy Kennedy banged a couple fucking cocktail waitresses in there and drowned them in the harbor later, which is what I'd like to do with this motherfucker.
He's not, you know what, Pat?
So fuck him.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so fuck him. And if he's got a fucking show, maybe I'll fucking call into that. Or maybe we could get fucking Jimmy Norton to call in as Steve from Yellowstone like he used to from Opie and Anthony, because I miss that character, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't need any help. This guy's not worth even the fucking 2 minutes you just spent on him. But
I'm as mad
you know,
as
do what you
hell,
want.
But I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I appreciate the support, but yeah, like I said, it's one thing that somebody at your level starts taking pot shots for no reason. But this guy is, you know, he's a troll. He's a professional troll. And like I said, even the 444 thing, I would have gave him credit for because it was kind of funny. And but he's a, you know, he's a fucking like I said, he's a technology tough guy. Would never say any of this shit to my face. So fuck him and everything he believes in.
Fuck him. Maybe I'll butt end him with a hockey stick, and not in the end he wants either, that little faggot.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Heloise, I've lost control of the show. Thanks, Pat. I can't even get that upset about it. Hey, can somebody, where'd Brian go?
He went upstairs to grab some paper towels.
Did he really? Fucking, he got to run right in here. I spilled my drink. Why? Because I started at 11:30 this morning. I can't believe my thing about. Come on, Ryan. Does this kid do anything efficiently? What the fuck? First of all, I didn't knock over a quart here. Jesus, a bulldog took a shit on my lap. For the love of Jesus. Anyways, 833-599-6425 is the bono. Maybe we'll trash him again on Monday because the kid needs some help as far as getting fans and stuff, and I'm willing to do it. I'm very, you know. I guarantee he's a lefty, too. And you know how I know that? Just by this comment when he goes, he's a sad, angry. They always say that. Oh, he fears everything. He's a sad, angry man. That's a classic fucking lib thing. Although Anthony hired him at Compound Media, so maybe not. But the fact that you get fired from Compound Media, That's what's really eating his ass. That I was offered a job at Compom, and he said, no, thanks, I'm good. And this motherfucker it ruined his life when he got fired. That's got to be eating away at his vagina. But anyways, back to the goddamn show. What else we got here? Oh, exclusive. 2 key answers from Trump to Mueller. You know, he wrote down the answers. He was not going to meet with him in person, so Trump handed in written answers. Some of them in crayon, I was told. A lot of spelling errors. Nick, what do you... Orange crayon. That's how I know it. President Trump told special counsel Bobby Mueller in writing that Roger Stone, that's my buddy, I forgot to tease this. I got some footage. Randy Credico, the guy we talked about yesterday, my comedian buddy, the left winger, whose name has come up with this whole WikiLeaks business and a back channel and Roger Stone, you know, he did an interview with this girl, Abby Martin, who's a real left winger herself. She works for some fucking network or, you know, Russia Today was one, and she has another show that's supported by like the Venezuelan government. But she went to, looks like Randy's apartment or her apartment, and did a great interview with Credico. And he comes clean on this whole thing with him and Roger Stone and whether he's the back channel or not. And we're going to play clips of it before this is over. Trump told special counsel Bobby Mueller in writing that Roger Stone did not tell him about WikiLeaks, nor was he told about the 2016 Trump Tower meeting between his son, campaign officials, and a Russian lawyer promising dirt on Hillary Clinton. So he says he doesn't know fucking anything about it.
I don't know nothing about that.
One source described the president's answers without providing any direct quotes and said the president made clear he was answering to the best of his recollection. Which is just what Mueller wants to... Because if you answer wrong, you're trying to recollect something like that Jerome Corsi guy did. He forgot that he forwarded an email to Roger Stone 2 years ago. That they can say, oh, you were lying about that. That's how these special counsels fucking operate, or at least Mueller's team of angry dims. These 2 points, WikiLeaks and the Trump Tower meeting, are critical to Mueller's central mission, investigating whether the Trump campaign colluded with Russia during the 2016 campaign. Don't you think if they had any evidence after 2 years, I said this yesterday, you would have seen it on MSNBC on a loop with the Adam's apple and Chris Matthews, who foams at the fucking mouth, and any other leftist pigs, CNN, fucking Acosta. Don't you think you would have seen it if they had any evidence? The answer's fucking yes. The president's lawyers previously told CNN to go fuck their mother. What? Did they really? Told CNN the answers would match his public statements. Still, these written answers could be subject to criminal charges if false, according to many lawyers who have experience in cases such as this, adding the caveat that he has no recollection, as the president apparently did with these written answers to Mueller, is standard procedure as a way to try to shield a client should their recollections be challenged. If you don't believe that, go back and watch Reagan testifying during the Contra hearing. Every other thing, but it turns out, after we know how Reagan died, he wasn't kidding. Well, I don't recall. Well, I don't recall. What color's that tie you put on this morning? Well, and he really wasn't kidding. We know. He fucking... But that's what the lawyers tell you. Use this phrase. I don't recall. Keep using it. It will shield you from a lot of horseshit. On WikiLeaks, Mueller's team has been investigating whether Stone, a Republican political operative and longtime Trump ally, knew in advance about WikiLeaks dumps of hacked emails from the DNC and Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, at key times during the 2016 campaign. That freaked them out.
I'm going to find out what the hell happened here.
He says, I never discussed any of this with Donald Trump. It's one of the questions that Mr. Mueller wants the president to answer, one of the written questions. I'm highly confident that his answer will be that he knew nothing about it. We just never discussed it, Roger Stone said to CNN. Stone's denial matches with what Trump told Mueller, that the two never spoke about WikiLeaks. Trump, in an interview last year when WikiLeaks was brought up, he said, when WikiLeaks came out, never heard of WikiLeaks, never heard of it. When WikiLeaks came out, all I was just saying is, well, look at all this information here. This is pretty good stuff. And I remember him saying that during rallies. And you wouldn't say that if you knew about it, would you? I'm a professional liar. You wouldn't say that. Look at all this information from this WikiLeaks company. Would you really do that? Draw attention to it? I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think he did that.
I don't know nothing about that.
He said, he said on the 2016 Trump Tower meeting, the president has publicly said he didn't know about the meeting. Again, in quotes, I did not know of the meeting with my son, Don Jr., Trump tweeted back in July. And I don't see any evidence otherwise, even with this whole fucking new thing. The president's son told lawmakers he did not tell his father about the meeting in advance. Wouldn't they have uncovered that by now? Wouldn't that have been leaked? Before the answers were submitted, Mueller had asked Trump's lawyers for call logs and visitor logs related to Stone from Trump Tower, CNN reported earlier this month. The request this late in the investigation surprised Trump's legal team. Stone told CNN he has not been contacted by Mueller's team. Trump Jr. testified under oath to several congressional committees and provided documents to Mueller's investigators. So why is he still asking about it? His lawyer has declined to comment on whether Trump Jr. was interviewed by the special counsel. And they're all excited about it. Oh, my God. The breaking news on ABC, the Greek midget cut in and just fucking popping their buttons. Like, finally, we got something. You ain't got jack, motherfucker. Let's go to Jake Bender in Layton, Utah. Jake, what's going on?
Howdy.
What's happening?
I was just thinking he should hire a bunch of Iraq and Afghanistan vets like me. We all got brain injuries. We literally medically can say we don't remember.
Oh, God.
I actually saw you in Kandahar.
Oh, did you really, Jake?
Yeah, I remember you talking about it on Opie and Anthony way back when. I mean, I actually didn't hear it until recently because I was deployed when it happened, but...
No kidding.
You were talking about remember the shit pond?
Yes. Yes, you didn't... Is that how you got your brain...
Can't forget that.
You didn't... That's not how you got your brain injury, getting a mouthful of that, was it, Jake?
No, but there was a guy from the Royal Air Force, England.
Yeah.
He swam across the thing.
You guys...
For a 500-pound bet.
You guys told us that when we were there. Didn't he get sick?
Yeah.
He got like really...
Did you ever look at the signs?
Yeah, what did it say? Polish, it said Polish soldiers stay up.
Every country was allowed to put a few. But yeah, we had, what is it? Fishing limit, 5 brown trout. There was one we had to take down. We had to take one down that said something about dropping off the Cosby kids.
Oh, boy. Can you imagine?
Like the hours you could do it.
Even in a war zone, they can't make black jokes. Even in fucking Kandahar, they couldn't make a black... Oh, my God. Jake, did you really suffer a head injury?
Yeah. You were there in 07 or 08, right?
07, yeah.
Okay. I went back in 2011.
Oh, my God.
You know, when you said you had to get under those concrete things and just sit around, smoke, and joke with all the guys?
Yes.
Okay. I was outside when one of those happened. I was, like, looking for scrap wood around dining... You know what the DFACs are, right? The dining facilities?
Yeah.
Just like a bunch of guys eating. Well, I was right outside a window. Mortar came right through the ceiling.
Oh.
Even behind a, aluminum wall, it was enough to knock me 5 feet off the ground.
My God.
And that's the last thing I remember. The next thing I remember, I was 5 miles away with a bloody nose. My ears were bleeding, and it was like 2 hours later.
Honest to fucking God. What? Jesus, Jake. What? And he's laughing about... God bless these guys. What branch of the service?
Army Reserve. I was actually a postal guy.
Jesus Christ. We needed that many guys, huh? They had to get a mailman. Holy shit. Well, Jake, you know,
Oh yeah, it's big. That's about 15,000 people just in the RC South where Kandahar is.
unbelievable. Well, Jake, you know what? You're a true patriot, man, and seriously, thank you for what you do, so guys like me can shoot my mouth off. And you sound good. You sound like you got more brains than I do. So I'm glad you call it. Keep calling.
Oh, I
in.
was meeting people. I will.
Please keep calling in. Yeah, we can't thank you enough.
You
for
and
what
Rocky
you did.
Laporte are the guys I've always wanted to meet.
Well, eventually, where are you? You in Utah?
Yep. Yeah, you don't have anything scheduled last time I checked.
No, but
it's all East Coast and maybe a few West Coast.
Don't worry. I know there's.
Salt Lake City's all fucking libs now.
Is it really? Oh, don't tell me that.
Just the city.
Right.
If you go around, like my cousin is the elected sheriff in his county,
Yeah.
I could go 150 miles per hour. He'll give me a ticket, but he never shows up to court.
All right, Jake. Hey, thanks for calling, man. And seriously, we can't thank you enough for your
Take
service.
care.
All right. My goodness. He's talking about those bunkers. I know just what he's talking about. You know, we ate in the cafeterias, and we got shuffled into a bunker. These sirens went off. We had just signed a bunch of autographs, and they shoved us into some cement bunker and shit. But how about these guys? They laugh about it, you know? Next thing I remember, it was fucking 2 hours later. Somebody's got to do it. It's not Pelosi and her followers. Hey, we have some footage of Ryan. Ryan does a lot of exercising, and we have his morning exercise routine. He does pull-ups. And look at this kid go. He's got a good physique on him. And where was this Ryan? In Valhalla? Oh. I see shit like that. There's nothing funny than people hurting themselves. Nothing. God, I love that guy's. I got one of those pull-up bars, and it doesn't fit anywhere in my house. That was built in 1937, where the average height was fucking 4'6". But Ryan took quite a spill, but he's all right. He's got his Redskins hat on to hide the bump.
Yeah, that was back in Oneonta, back when me and Jason were together in our dorm.
That's quite a dorm you got there. You could
that
hit.
mine's on the left, his on the right.
You could hit fungos in the hallway. Apparently, it's how high the ceiling is.
I used to be able to do that.
Do what? Hit fungos?
No, those muscle ups.
I did too, and then I destroyed my shoulders. Had reconstructive surgery on both shoulders, and they're held together by bobby pins. I'll show you the scars after the show. It looks like the guy used a popsicle stick.
I broke and dislocated my left shoulder.
Did you? How'd you do that? Banging Kevin?
I was
Your
wrestling
life partner?
some kid.
Yeah, I bet you were wrestling him into your fucking bunk beds up at Oneonta. Get in there, Tim. Take off those pants. Oh.
You know what I want for Christmas this year?
What?
A big fat cock! Oh! In my ass!
Jesus.
I know what you did. You're a damn credit.
Anyways, the aforementioned Randy Credico. Let me give you a history again real quick. You guys probably know Patreon members, but he's a comedian, a left-wing guy that I met when I moved to New York. As interesting as anybody as I've ever met. And I did the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and he got real political. I mean, if you hate political comics, you would have hated this guy. He'd go on stage and bomb, doing some of the most inside political shit. Nobody knew what he was talking about. Even people who read the news every day. And he's got his headshot at the comedy club was him, and I'm not shitting you. He's doing comedy outside, and he's got 2 armed guards. He was in Nicaragua doing stand-up. That's when I became fascinated with him. Anyways, I had him on my Sirius radio show. You guys remember if you're fans of that. He's the left-wing equivalent of Roger Stone. He's kind of a political operative with no official tie. Well, Roger Stone actually worked for Nixon and stuff. But Randy, look, I hate his politics. He's a fucking lefty and all this shit. But he's an activist. He got shit done. You know, the Rockefeller laws, he made that a big deal in New York City. Shit that, you know, you and I disagree with. As far as prison reform and getting companies to divest from investing in I mean, he puts his money where his fucking mouth is. And by the way, his mouth always has white foam around it when he talks. It's like fucking Cujo. Anyways, his name keeps resurfacing. You know, Roger Stone saying that Randy was his back channel to Assange at the embassy in London, and that's how WikiLeaks got this shit out. And Roger Stone has said that Randy was not the back channel. He said that he was. I don't know who to believe. Politically, I want to believe Roger Stone. Randy calls him like an evil fucking guy, and they were destined to meet because they're just politically savvy, smart guys, and they actually became friends and shit. And Roger Stone hired Randy to remember when Al Sharpton ran for president? Roger fucking asked Randy to get him involved. Roger comes in and takes over the operation, somehow arranges it so fucking Sharpton speaks at the Democratic National Convention right before the election, which scared off a lot of people who were on the fence. When they saw Al Sharpton, they said, fuck this, we're not voting Democrat. So Roger Stone sort of used Randy. And Randy admits this in this. It's fascinating. Anyways, he talked to this girl, Abby Martin, who does a show called The Empire Files. I looked her up. She worked for Russia Today. She worked for another, I don't know if it was an internet show or radio show, whatever, backed by the Venezuelan government. So not exactly. She should be at MSNBC. She should have her own fucking show. But anyway, she interviewed Randy, whether it was her apartment, his apartment, and it's fascinating. We're going to show a couple clips. The thing is 45 minutes long. I suggest you guys watch it all in its entirety if you have it, because it shows Randy on The Tonight Show, just real quick, but it gives a history of this guy. And he's just an interesting dude, okay? He should have been the Dos Equis guys before the Dos Equis guy. Anyway, so she interviewed him about the whole Roger Stone WikiLeaks thing. The first clip is about 6 minutes long. I might ask you guys to pause it if I have something to say. But you guys will recognize Randy. You guys that used to fucking follow you'll recognize his voice. And you guys are fans of the Sirius radio show. But he's an eccentric dude. And you'll keep seeing him do this. And apparently somebody said, dude, you foam at the fucking What'd you just have, a bowl of Cool Whip? But here's the interview.
WikiLeaks. I don't know, something like that. He was doing some kind of peddling, information peddling.
So I wanted to read this last text message that came out that recently broke between you two.
Yeah.
In one message sent on October 1st, 2016, you texted Roger Stone, big news Wednesday, now pretend you don't know me. He says you died 5 years ago. You say, great, Hillary's campaign will die this week. 2 days later, you followed up by saying, I think it's on for tomorrow. Shortly after, you said, why can't you get Trump to come out and say that he would give Julian Assange asylum? Off the record, Hillary and her people are doing a full court press. They keep Assange from making the next dump. That's all I can tell you on this line. Please leave my name out of it. Now, I want to just give you the floor here to say whatever you want to about this thread.
About that thread is all me, none him. Okay, that's an edited thread. I happen to know there are about 15 text messages going back and forth. Everybody who's read those in the news, they know those are edited text messages. They know, I can tell you for a fact, that the Mueller people know how many text messages were sent that day. So they're going to say, well, look, you got 5 text messages, no rebuttal from Stone, nothing else from Stone, and we were playing around there, and I can tell you this, he has deleted that's a one-sided conversation. Where is the other side?
Well, give us the context.
The context is, I'm speculating. Here it is, October 1st. A month earlier, he's on with Megyn Kelly, saying that he has big shit coming out in October. He's with somebody else, and I can't think. Maybe RT was on RT saying he had all this stuff on Hillary was coming out in October. The October surprise. So. I'm going to have to answer this.
Right.
I'm going to have to actually answer this, but it looks like he was pressing me. And there's something that that people don't know. He was calling me up, screaming at me, why hasn't Assange put this stuff out? And it was just bullshit banter there.
There's no way for you to figure out the other side of the texts? I mean, because can you see how out of context people would say that does show you working with
No,
Roger?
Because where's all the other text messages that I told him that he's got a big surprise coming in October and it's about to put, there's no, WikiLeaks knew it was bullshit. They put out a statement on this. Credico was playing Stone the same way Stone was playing Bannon. Because Stone was using this kind of stuff to ingratiate himself with the Trump campaign as if he had a back channel. Where was everything else?
Right. And
how the fuck would I know, unless you believe that Julian Assange told Randy Credico, who he doesn't know, to let Roger Stone know so he could tell Steve Bannon and somehow coordinate something with the president? Why would he do that? If he had it, he would just do it at his choosing, at a time of his choosing. I mean, there's no logic.
Well, like you said, Roger changed his story to comply with basically what WikiLeaks has been saying this whole time, that he has been trolling the press, right? Roger Stone's been trolling the press. But then we go back to the tweet that you were just talking about, where Roger Stone says John Podesta's time in the barrel is coming.
Right.
How do you reconcile those?
Well, wait a second. His time in the barrel is coming because...
How did he know that it would be about Podesta?
Well, first of all, when did that come? That came in August, way back in August, that it was Podesta. There's a guy by the name of one of these conspiracy guys that had been going back and forth with Roger. They have all of the emails between the two. This guy by the name of Jerome Corsi. All right, who sent me an email. He sent me an email, guess when? I found it. They know, the Mueller people know that he contacted me.
Since the taping of this interview, former InfoWars bureau chief Jerome Corsi has in fact entered into plea deal negotiations with the Mueller investigation. Corsi himself said he expected to be indicted, as the special counsel believes he is the one who could have tipped off the Trump campaign that the Podesta emails would be coming out. Randy says he can prove that Roger Stone told him he had a secret back channel, vindicating him as the source.
But he told me on September 9th, when he got me Gary Johnson, I said, what can you, I said, I thought you had a back channel.
Pause it 1 second. Gary Johnson was the guy that Randy wanted on his radio show. I forget who Gary Johnson was. An important guy, but so he felt like he owed him a favor. Go ahead.
You can get Assange. Why do you need me to do it? Why don't you ask your back channel? And he says, well, you know, he's, I can't use him for everything. You know, I got to use him discreetly. So I said to him, if you have a back channel, so I'm looking back at this Podesta thing, this Podesta deal, and I said, well, somebody told him. And it definitely was Corsi, because that's why Corsi is, you know, an indictment is imminent, because he said he never had any this and that conversations about Podestas. He says he guessed that the Podesta files were coming. He says that he guessed. They just have to do loose ends or put loose ends together.
That even sounded a little fishy to me when Jerome Corsi said, I put the dots together. Which, I mean, the guy's a political, you know, science major from Harvard. He's been in it his whole life. Excuse me. But he said, you know, I just put it together. Nobody told me. I just knew it was Podesta's. I mean, so, but that sounded a little, if I was Mueller, that's where I'd be digging. Go ahead.
If Stone did know, and is it illegal to know? But he definitely needed someone that he could use as a fall guy, and I was being set up for that. Now, it could have been just pure rank braggadocio with Bannon to somehow ingratiate himself with the Trump campaign, which had dumped him 2 years earlier. They got rid of this guy a year earlier. They said, get rid of this guy.
So who's leaking all the text messages to the press, Stone?
Yeah, Stone's doing it right now.
It just seems like he's trying to make you implicated
yes,
here.
Well, he's been saying that he's got 9 different versions. I am not a target. I am a, you know, I'm not a target of this thing. So if you take a look at June, when he says, I gave him information, all through the summer, I was giving them updates. Well, where are they? And that's what all the journalists want to know. Where are the updates? Where are the text messages and the emails that was suggested I was giving them information.
Right.
There's no text messages, there's no emails. There are other emails there where he's trying to get me to get this Dr. Paul information confirmed, which I never tried to. But there's nothing about me saying that Assange has got something. I never did.
Well, maybe it wasn't text and email. Maybe you met him at a bar. Randy, I'm trying to... It doesn't have to be text, right? It doesn't have to be technology related. You could have met him fucking at a CVS. I don't know.
I never told them anything because I didn't know anything. I had no fucking idea.
Amidst this back and forth, Randy, Stone threatened you and your dog, Bianca. I mean, I know how much this dog means to you. In fact,
Bianca.
I'm surprised that he's not here right now. But what was your response?
He threatened me. They have all of the text messages over the last year. I can tell you that. So there's a lot of things happening there. Stone does not want me to testify. Stone takes me out to dinner to try to get me to take the... There's a lot of things I can't tell you that he said to me. He threatens let's get it on. Who's going to be around next year, you or me? People aren't going to believe you fucking bum, and prepare to die. This kind of stuff. Right? And I'm going to steal that fucking dog ears, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not that I think he's going to steal a dog. What I think is that people who think that Stone is going to get indicted, and then he's going to roll on the president, and they say, well, this guy, and they see the dog thing, they may come over and steal the fucking dog. One of these lunatics on the alt-right, those are the ones I'm afraid. The ones that go and shoot people in Pittsburgh or send out pipe bombs or whatever. There are a lot of lunatics out there. People that go to the...
Yeah, lunatics that show up at a ball field and shoot up the fucking Republican baseball team. I love how all the lunatics are on the left. Go ahead.
Trump rallies, all right?
Antifa?
That think that if Stone gets indicted, he's going to roll on the president, which I think he would because the guy couldn't spend 30 seconds in a jumpsuit, all right? So he would, if whatever he has, and he probably has a lot on the president. He's known him for 35 years. Look, I've been told you have to be careful and call up 911 and then call up the FBI if somebody is threatening you. But Stone made a lot of threats. Stone tried to get me to do a lot of things with my testimony. And so he he sent out he was pissed off, and I went on. I just had to get this, I had to stop it. People were thinking that I helped Trump out, and I was a back channel. I was giving information to Stone. Nothing, not one fucking thing. He got 3 of his friends to come out and say that I told them that I was Stone's back channel. One of them, this guy David Lugo, this guy like laid out like days of how I was telling him about Stone, getting information from me, and I was a back channel, all this stuff. And guess what? It turned out that Stone wrote the fucking article for him.
What a shock.
Stone wrote the article for the kid. And when Stone found out that the guy copped to it, and he testified in front of Mueller, this kid, because they know that there was an orchestrated effort to try to debase me, demean me, smear me, calumny me, whatever the word is, smear me, and this was all part of it. They know it, all right? They're trying to intimidate me. You ought to see the stuff that I get.
No, and Roger Stone is responding to this all over the news, saying you're the one who's threatening witnesses. He's saying that, if you look at the text messages, it's just kind of banter between old friends, right?
Look. That's what he's saying about you. He and I were just old grumpy guys. Yeah.
Just hanging out, threatening to kill each other's dogs.
Well, he's a bad guy. He's a dirty trickster. Will throw his mother under the bus.
No.
He would throw his wife under the bus.
Maybe.
He would do anything to protect himself.
Maybe. Pretty. I don't know who to... I know Randy well. Roger Stone loved my radio show. Interviewed me on InfoWars. I don't know. Politically, I'm aligned with Roger Stone. Guy's got a Nixon tattoo on his back. But I fucking love Randy. Randy is, when I lived in LA, he stayed at my house a couple times. Play the second clip. It's just like a minute or two.
I'm not going to jail for him. And we'll see what happens. I just have, look, you go when you tell the truth.
Right.
I'm already in. I got to go and tell the truth, and I'm not going to lie just to save his ass.
So he's going to see Mueller again. He's got like 2 more meetings. So, Jesus. This guy's doing stand-up comedy. I first moved to New York next to me and continue to do it. I told you he's so persuasive. When I lived in L.A., he got me to do a benefit for Jimmy Hoffa, James Hoffa Jr. I wasn't political at that point. I just needed the money. I didn't care who Hoffa was, Hoffa Jr. Big fucking union guy, obviously. But they made a documentary on it. A woman named Laura Keitling, a comedian, 60 spins around the sun or something like that. Anyhow, but it's funny because Credico and Roger Stone sort of mirror each other. You know what I mean? Randy from the left, Stone from the right, but 2 kind of eccentric dudes who they're very fucking bright, but they're a little reckless, which is what we find fascinating about them. Eventually, I'll get I know I'll get Credico in here after I think he's got bigger fish to fry with fucking the special counsel. Anyhow, so Abby Martin, good job, man. You work for, I don't know, some show that was sponsored by the Venezuelan government. So
I really liked how worried she looked the entire interview.
She looked worried? Yeah, you know what that is? That's edited. Randy probably pulled his pants down. I know, Credico. All right, let's lighten it up here. But you got to admit, pretty fascinating. 833-599-6425. Let's change the pace. And now for something different. You see this story about this fucking huge world's biggest cow will never stop growing and could die as a celeb vet claims 6-foot 4-inch frame is down to genetic illness. The enormous 1.4-ton beast, which has been saved from getting the chop at the abattoir, and one social media fan could suffer a rare genetic disorder. Celebrity vet Chris Brown, did he punch the fucking... Does the cow have a black eye? I think it does. Celebrity vet Chris Brown and his assistant P. Diddy told the Daily Mail in Australia that the 6-foot 4-inch gentle giant could suffer from gigantism, isn't it? And keeps growing until his body. Well, Shaquille O'Neal has it. And do we have a picture of Andre the Giant? Oh, I didn't send that to you. Yeah, that's the wrong cow. Show. It's another cow. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's... Oh, look how he's resting his fucking... Look how he's resting his fucking milky, fucking pudgy, pasty, fat arm on an inner tube of fat. How disgusting when your own body becomes its own furniture. That is fucking disgraziad. Okay, put up the real fucking... Yeah, there you go. Look at the size of that. That looks like Shaq in the cafeteria in 5th grade. Look at the size of that fucking cow. You could fill a built-in pool with that milk in one squirt. The 7-year-old Holstein Friesian is already more than twice the size of the rest of the herd in Myallip, Western Australia, and weighs the same as a family hatchback. Who the fuck drives hatchback? Dr. Brown told the Mail there was a very good chance the huge steer had gigantism, and a condition caused by an overactive pituitary gland, which regulates growth hormones. He explained gigantism caused by the continued secretion of growth hormone by the pituitary gland leads to characteristic big feet, jaws, and foreheads, as well as continuous growth. Which Andre the Giant, just think Andre the Giant. That explains it. Vets have also pointed out that the steers, such as Knickers, grow to be far larger than bulls as they've been castrated at a young age and do not go through hormonal changes that prevent bulls from growing bigger. See what happens? You cut a guy's balls off. The bovine behemoth stands head and shoulders above other farm beasts and weighs in at an incredible 3,083 pounds. Holy moly. He warned there are limits, clear limits on how large any terrestrial organism can be before its organ system can no longer meet the collective needs of other organ systems that start to fail. That means Hillary will be going soon, and Rosie, Michael Moore, I don't know, Al Gore, he's kind of fat. An alternative theory has been suggested by Dr. M. Todd Steed, the head of the Department of Animal Science at North Carolina State. He told Time that the Holstein Friesian is one of the larger cattle breeds, and Knickers has been photographed among the smaller Wagyu. From a genetic perspective, I would expect him to be larger and taller. Yeah, you're the only one who thinks that, Doc. I'm sorry. What did you tell me? Those are fucking dwarf cows? Are those emotional support cows? Yeah. You know damn well next time you get on a flight, somebody's going to get on riding Knickers. And they'll let it on. He says, a simple but perhaps more extreme analogy would be a Great Dane dog as compared to a Yorkshire Terrier. Dr. C said the steer's extraordinary size could also be attributed to his older age. He is 7 years old. What do he grow fucking... What do you put on 1,900 pounds a minute? Typically, cattle raised on pasture for beef would be 18 to 26 months of age. But the guy who owns the actual cow said Knickers is too big to, be processed. Butchers say the giant would produce around 1,400 pounds of trimmed, saleable beef. Yeah, that's nothing to sneeze at. You know how many African kids would like 1,400 pounds of beef? And enough for 450 cuts of steaks and 370 kilograms of mince. Holstein Friesians are a dairy breed and normally weigh in at about 1,500 pounds and stand about 4 foot. This is not even the biggest one ever. Once again, China. I swear to God, they own every record. Well, they shoot steroids into their gymnasts. They're not going to do it into their fucking beef. Dig it out. The biggest one ever. In 2010, a Chilean ox named Bellino. Oh, I'm sorry, it's in Rome. I just slurred the Asian people when it was my filthy people. Who measured at just over 6 feet 7 inches at a cattle show in Rome. But maybe it was I'm looking at the name of the ox, Chianina. Chianina. Sounds like it's from China. Am I right?
We've got Andre the Giant if you want to take a look.
Yeah, now look at Andre. He's got the same giant protruding forehead, huge fucking feet, tiny penis. Is that Andre the Giant? Or seriously, is that Michael Moore heading to the toilet at a pool party with all his little boys touching him? Look at that fucking monster. People that big die early, and that goes for athletes, too. Usually by banging their head on a fucking door on the way. Nick, that was horrible. Really? I didn't think so. That was pretty funny.
Get out of my room, you sick cunt.
Hey, watch your mouth, you filthy whore. How about the Clinton tour? Have you guys been following this? Speaking of fucking cattle. Hillary and Bill are out there. Yes, they are. Former Clinton, President Clinton and former First Lady, she's a former lady, went to Toronto for an evening with the Clintons to kick off their 13-city paid tour, and the couple's appearance wasn't selling as ticket prices plummeted to as low as $6. Why would you go listen to these two talk about fucking anything?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
On Tuesday evening, the Clintons appeared at an event at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto and only filled about 3,300 of the stadium's 19,000 seats. Sounds like one of my gigs. Not lately, though. Floor seats up toward the front were available for $325. Other floor seats were going for $83, and the lowest price tickets were selling for $6.55 Canadian. I guess they're officially finished. The upper deck of seats was blocked off. The Clintons' discussion, I like to make fun of them, but I've seen blocked off sections at my show. Right in the front and the back. They leave one table to my right open. The Clintons' discussion included bashing President Donald Trump and the former Democrat presidential nominee, suggesting that, what do they get paid by the word? Why don't you just say Bill and douche? That she might move to Canada. A response that other well-known people on the left have given in the past. Canadian ambassador to the U.S., Frank McKenna, who donated to the Clinton Foundation, so he's a suck-up, discussed a wide range of hot top... Oh, yeah, I bet you they were steaming hot. McKenna started out by addressing the elephant in the room, asking Hillary about a possible 2020 run. Here's the fucking video of that.
You're on a 13-city tour, the two of you, President Clinton, Madam Secretary. Now, is that because you guys just want to hang out together?
Hang out?
Or is it because you're testing the waters for a run at being President of the United States?
Now hand her the written answer, Donna Brazil. Well,
actually, Frank, I'm thinking about standing for Parliament here in Canada.
Isn't she funny? I guarantee the question was given to her beforehand, like the debates, and the fucking funny line. How about all those Canadians applauding for that thick-ankled dog face fucking muncher of many carpets? Huh? Ryan, your thoughts? Ryan's looking around like a 12-year-old shopping with his mother.
Carpet munching is not a crime.
I know. Absolutely not. Good point. You are correct, sir. Why did I bring that? When discussing the murder of Khashoggi... video 2, please.
A president who is part of the cover-up as to what happened in that consulate or embassy when Mr. Khashoggi was murdered. And we have a president and those closest to him who have their own personal commercial interests.
As opposed to the Clinton Foundation. You fucking shameless. What was the Clinton Foundation? And the 19 other scandals, not mentioning Whitewater to go back to... What are you talking about? Remember she bought stock and it went up $1 trillion in a second? Their own personal business. What do you think the Clinton Foundation was? A fucking money laundering operation. They're probably waving to fucking bin Laden's nephew in the second row over there. Oh, yeah, this is so out of touch. That is funny. I mean, seriously. Do they get older and forget what the media has got on them when they make a statement like that? They had their own personal commercial deal. Oh, God, help me. Let's, do we have the picture of how healthy she is today? Did I send you another clip? Look.
So I'm going to ask a question, a serious question, and then maybe we'll end up on a little bit of a lighter note. But
look,
the United States pulled out of
look at her.
Paris
She's got a
Accords,
gray pube in her
Accords.
fucking throat.
Every other country in the world is...
She's looking at her husband for help.
I guess my question
Look at that strong woman ready to leave. Look at her. She's dying.
We're trying to put a price on pollution in Canada.
And look at Bill. Bill's looking out of the corner of his eye. Honey? For the love of Christ. You know she's got like a piece of fucking prime rib she had in the green room stuck in her trachea. It never kills her, though. I didn't ask for that. Go back to what we're doing. You're getting a little too fucking producy over there, producer. Anyway, she's still choking on the same fucking pube from the fucking last election. My God. She's dying. Hillary imitates Monica Lewinsky next to her husband.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Thank you, Chicago, for bringing us her and Obama. The fucking state should be removed from the union. It's like a tumor in fucking somebody's ass pipe. Oh, here's breaking news. I might have caught some of it. Mexican officials stated that more than 1/3 of the 6,000 caravan migrants currently living in the border city of Tijuana, Baja California, are being treated for health-related issues. All the shit that I was saying 20 years ago on one of my albums about them bringing over diseases that we cured in 1926. Oh, you're a bigot and a racist. Shut your fucking hole. No, actually, I guess I was prescient, as they say. Some are being treated for infectious diseases like HIV/AIDS. We like to call it HIV in the Haitian community. Tuberculosis, which, again, we wiped out in 1938. That's been coming back way before the caravan showed up, by the way. Don't blame the caravan people. Blame the rest of the scum that's poured in illegally, the 22 million that are living here. And chicken pox. Oh, that's fucking delicious.
I am the Frito Bandito.
The Tijuana Health Department, a spokesman for the Tijuana Health Department, and you said that more than 2,200 of the estimated 6,000 caravan migrants are currently being treated. Of these, there are 4 confirmed cases of HIV/AIDS, 4 cases of chickenpox, 3 cases of tuberculosis. Oh, you got some more? Come on, Billy. This guy must have had quite a Thanksgiving. The department also claims that more than 100 migrants are infested with lice, and there are multiple instances of skin infections. Open the borders, right? Ocasio-Cortez? How'd you like a nice boil on your ass from Ecuador? It's on its way. Fucking lice. Tuberculosis. I guess this is all right-wing propaganda, though, wouldn't you say? The 6,000 migrants are being housed at the Benito Juarez Sports Complex. Remind me not to get season tickets there. Hey, I brought my kids to the game, and 2 weeks later they had jaundice and fucking yellow fever. Yeah, we had the box seats. There was no ventilation. They'll be throwing out the first pitch in about 6 months when they're dying. The fucking Benito Juarez Sports Complex. The shelter is only rated to serve about 1,000 people. The migrants are being served by only 35 portable bathrooms. Let me repeat that. There's 1,000 people staying there, and there's 35 portable toilets. It's sort of the same ratio if you go to a Lowe's theater when it's sold out on the front. The migrants are being served by 35 portable toilets. How about this? Officials had to place no spitting signs in the shelter due to the rampant coughing and spitting taking place. But by all means, bring them over. No wonder why they're coming for the health care. That's what they should use as an excuse, not that it's, Dr. Jan Orient, Executive Director of the Association of American Mamelukes, Physicians and Surgeons, warned of the coming threat to public health posed by thousands of migrants. Do you really need to be doctored? I was warning people that on one of my albums as a young comedian, but I'm glad you got your PhD to let us know that fucking, open borders bring May boils. Though open borders may come your way, they bring us migrants with AIDS that might be gay, so keep on looking for that legal spitting blood up in the complex. I gotta get off. It's been a long week. It just makes no sense, she says, from a public health standpoint, to let in a lot of people who have not been screened. I think we really need to control entrance to our country. Can you even say that, doctor? You're going to get in all kinds of trouble. You can't say shit like that. Really? So, unfettered migration from fucking countries, unknown third world shitholes are going to bring disease and no kidding, huh? But you could say it because you're a female doctor. I say it, I'm a deplorable. I'm going to write an hour of political shit. The last few days have really, they've been too easy. What were the headlines yesterday? I had a couple of fucking doozies. I can't even remember. They wrote themselves. Anyways, that's enough for the week, kids. I'm tapped. Let's get one in from Paul Lynn before we go.
During the 18th century, it was common for a bride to sell something at her wedding reception to help pay for the cost of the wedding. What did she sell?
An illegal immigrant.
Her firstborn.
Anyways, that's it. Say goodbye to the Twinks till fucking Monday. I can't think of anything else. I'll be in the Corner Comedy Club tomorrow night, Saturday night, Ontario, Canada. I'm sure it's a fine play. It's on the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls, which is, I've been told, is the nicest side. I get plenty of friends at Buffalo. No offense. I was just told, you know, the Canadians, they're polite. They pick up shit. They clean up. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. They're good people. Anyway, that's it. Remember, you think it. I will say it like I have been for 30 years. You're welcome. And we will see you on Monday. Bye, Mike.